All right, this is going to be another breakdown between two higher belts. This is Marcus, also known as the Sandman. He's kind of got that nickname just because he's very difficult to submit, or at least I don't know. That's kind of what we all call him. He is actually indeed very hard to submit. Even when you catch him in something, it's just you kind of got to get everything you have to finish him. And this, so he's very good. He has a very good game as well. This is Chapa over here, one of the coaches. He's a brown belt. He's a big guy with a little guy game. He's very dangerous. He likes to play guard, play off his back, invert, do all kinds of cool stuff like that. So he's very, very good, very, very technical. My advice to all big guys out there that are large, instead of just being on top and smashing all the time, I recommend you develop a guard. And once you develop a very good guard, there's not much, that people can. There's not much to do with you. So, anyways, I will. I'm gonna start this video here and see what happens. Okay, it's kind of a friendly talk around here. Here we go. Okay, so he's nonchalant ball to the side. Just kind of playing around, feeling around here. Okay, Chapa kind of jumps in. It's pretty fast paced moving, so I'm going to try to keep up. Chapa's doing a knee slice here. Marcus doing a good job of keeping an underhook, just so he can stay mobile. But the issue here with this underhook was, if you notice, Chapa had his arm close to the elbow. Well, when anyone ever gives you an underhook, if you just bring we call it elbow to elbow. If you bring their elbow to their elbow and you kind of drop to that side, it just kills the underhook. So just so you know, it can be an easy pass. Chapa's going over to north-south. Again, Mark doing very good at staying on the inside. Got his caught. He's okay. So Marcus trying to latch onto a leg to rattle. Chapa kind of rolled to looked like what he wanted was a crucifix of some sort. And, here's one thing I'm going to say before I actually start watching this, because there's going to be a lot of flopping around in this. Both these guys have very good defense. I harp on developing your defense at Val, simply because if you become very difficult to submit and you become very comfortable in positions that most people would be panicking, you're more willing to try things. So you're more willing to go for things. So, for example, like Chapa just kind of flopping over there and just kind of, maybe gets try for a crucifix, maybe not. Maybe he won't even try and go for a crucifix. Maybe he just want to flop over. He really doesn't care, because no matter what position he ends up in, he's going to be able to recover or maybe even possibly create something from that. The better you get at jiu-jitsu and the better your training partners get, you have to come up with clever ways to attack and also to escape. This is just it's something you have to start to develop, because, after a while, people start doing the same things over and over and over. So it's expected. It's already, the game has already figured out how to deal with very common moves. So a lot of times, Gary Tonon's a good example of this. He'll just be flopping around, throwing around all over the place sometimes, but he knows what he's doing, and he's confident he can get out. Okay, Chop did a really good frame there, framing out. He's going inverted to see if he can catch maybe a triangle or to spin around to the other side, maybe an arm bar. Marcus is doing really good at, staying low, trying to drive in. The issue here is Chapa is just so good with this in his inversion game. He always has that leg right here, center, and you have to be very careful, because once he swings around, he's going to hit you with a triangle. Bang. And Marcus did good. He just stayed on the inside. Good posture. He's in the guard now. Chapa 2-on-1. Marcus lines up. Gonna break the guard. Chapa probably play some rubber guard there. Looks interesting. Maybe even a Williams guard. Marcus just playing here, full guard, trying to get his hands in the armpits, get some extension away. Knee in the butt, classic escape, knee in the butt. I have some variations I do of this type of escape. This is an escape open guard technique that's been around forever. A lot of people have just kind of thrown it away. They don't. A lot of the more advanced guys just don't use it very much anymore. They just teach you to stand up and kind of shake the guy off. And there's a lot of technique to that, a lot of balance required. But I still think there's some use for this knee in the butt technique. You just have to do it a little. There has to be some slight modifications here and there. That being said, you're going to see most guard breaking, modern guard breaking is going to be with people standing. And it's because of that right there. Like Chapa could just, anytime somebody puts a knee in the butt, I just slide over top of their leg, just kind of like what Chapa did there, and just kind of bring my hips with them as they pull back, and it doesn't do much there. So if you got big, strong legs like Chapa here, he's a strong guy, he's a big guy, so it's like, it's going to be difficult just doing a basic knee in the butt escape. Okay, so Chapa's doing really good to create an angle. He could set up a scissor sweep here, basically a scissor sweep. He has this arm trapped. And this leg is coming kind of down here. He's got a good knee shield. This could turn into a scissor if Marcus isn't careful. Okay, so he almost got a scissor there. But what he did achieve is an angle. So there's a good angle here now. And so now he kicked him over to the side. Marcus will probably come back up here. So he's tried for 2 double unders, a double under pass. Chapa's doing really good with this frame right here. Just framing out, creating that distance. Don't ever underestimate the power of frames in your guard. I do this all the time. Frames it gives you amazing guard retention. So really start to utilize frames. Where you place your frames are very important. Okay. So this, if I get into it, I may get into it later, but this is a good placement for that frame. Now it goes inverted. Notice that when he has that frame, it allows him that space and that distance to go inverted. And again, Chapa's so comfortable here going inverted, he's just going to spin around and either get a full guard, attack for an armbar, attack for triangle, all kinds of things he can start to attack for. Create an angle. So he just spins. There's no harm in spinning. There you go. It makes it very difficult for Marcus to pass, right? Now Marcus is trying to stand and pass. Chapa has legs really wide, which is smart. Because, if Marcus either has to go around the legs, go through the legs, or go under the legs. So he's, these are some of the simple methods to passing. Okay, Chapa using that frame again to frame Marcus away here and try to capture that leg. He's shooting in, he's trying to get an angle. Now, Chapa has an underhook. This could turn into something good, maybe a shoulder pin. Okay, so what's probably going to happen here is they're going to go to a dogfight. Chapa's not going to just concede to this quarter half right here. He's going to try to get to turn, which he did. Marcus is doing a good job here because he's keeping his hips above Chapa's hips. Chapa could slide back through and try to do a little sweep here, or he could just stand up. They could both just stand up here. And Chapa slid back through. There you go. He slid back through and got a sweep out of it. This is a good technique that you can use. The person thinking you want to stand up with them and you don't, and you get them to pressure back in, and then you can just dive and sweep back underneath. That's a classic technique. It's not anything new. Chapa good, got top, dragging Marcus back. So Marcus balling up here, just anticipating because Chapa's already passed. Marcus might go into more of a defensive jiu-jitsu here, go into like a panda system. So we'll see how he handles this. Yeah, so he's going more into a panda system, just really monitoring inside position. Chapa going to that on belly. Head and arm, switching to the other side. And notice Chapa is like super agile, man. He's like really agile for a big guy. These guys are and he's flexible, and he's strong. This is such a great combo. He's a very difficult to deal with. But the agility there, very nice. Now he's trying to attack the back. And again, Marcus is like he's kind of like Jello sometimes. It's hard to move him around. He's so relaxed. If you notice, like when guys stiffen up, if you pull on them, their whole body moves. I talk about this all the time. It's like an arm drag. Somebody stiffens up, you can pull them across, their whole body moves. If you're relaxed and that arm and your whole body's relaxed and they pull the arm, just the arm moves with the shoulder a little bit. So Marcus plays this game very well. He's very confident in his escapes and confident in his game as well. So Chapa looks like he's starting to get to the back here. He may have a hook established. Nope. He's switching to the other side, He's making Marcus carry his weight, making carry his weight and just kind of riding the wave. So this is a good strategy. Look, got to some quesadilla there. Yeah. So he hasn't solidified the position. Marcus is doing a really good job of overcommitting Chapa to the side there. Maybe it's going for the back. He did get Chapa overcommitted there, so now he's probably gonna pop out the back here, try to get on top. He should be turning his knees down to get to top here. And Chapa did a good job of getting his hips high and kind of walking back towards him. That was very creative. All right, so now we're back. Chapa's back on top. Marcus could go into a wedding sweep here. I remember this actually. He did not go for this wedding sweep, but if you don't know about the wedding sweep, look it up. I think we have a video on the wedding sweep. It's a pretty old video. I might do one in the future, like an instructional. But the wedding sweep is right here that he could have utilized pretty well. Right there. You see where his left hand is right here? This is perfect wedding sweep territory. It's going to be very difficult on a guy like Chapa. But Marcus isn't a small guy either. Marcus is a big guy. So he could probably pull it off. And he's got long ass arms too and long legs. So he could definitely pull off a wedding sweep here. But Chapa has really, really good balance. I mean, he's a brown belt. So it's not going to be so easy. Okay, so Marcus kind of gives up on that, what could have been a wedding sweep there. Chapa got hip to Marcus's hip. Must try to did a frame right there with his right hand to push out to try to get turtle. Chapa went to the back again, starting to get that position. See, Marcus really needs to watch his inside position here. Chapa's got that arm in. He's starting to get a seatbelt. Once somebody starts to get a seatbelt, the dominoes start to fall. Let's see what he does with it. Doing a little sprawl. Okay. Marcus did a really good job just kind of sliding back to like a half guard type position. Not out of the water yet. Chapa really good with his pressure, hips down, chest down on top of Marcus here, kind of squeezing him into the ground. Got that knee ride position, that his right knee back behind this knee. This knee back here is trying to free. Oh, he could toe back step for a honey hole. This could be a leg lock. There's Ryan. So this is a good. Whenever you see this, when Chapa started to pull his knee out there, he was still in a quarter. The issue with quarter half guard is that it's prime for back steps to honey hole position, and it's leg lock city there. So. Now Chapa did the back step, but now he's going to opt to stay belly down heel hook, which is a fantastic position. It's a closed off position. So this will be interesting to see how Marcus deals with this. So Chapa's starting to extend away. Marcus is smart here. He starts to spin before Chapa actually gets a hold of the foot. So Marcus is trying to get ahead of the leg lock, right? So there's a perpendicular rule in the leg locks. It's basically the knees, right? If Chapa can get his knees perpendicular to Marcus's knees, he can dig the heel much easier. But if Marcus can stay ahead of the knees or keep the knees in alignment, then he can actually dodge the heel hook and he can just keep spinning. Or if he gets ahead of the spin, he can actually get out. So this is I don't know if that makes any sense, but if it doesn't, you should look up. You can look up how to dig hills and things like this. When you dig the hill for a heel hook with the belly down heel hook, it'll explain kind of what that is. That's what's happening right here. So Marcus got ahead of the spin. Chapa actually didn't have a grip on the foot yet. Got out. Good. So that was the appropriate reaction, the correct timing. Chapa's just pinning the knees down there. Marcus is totally fine with it. He seems a little relaxed here, just kind of allowing there's no panic to get his guard back. He's okay playing this like turtle position. Okay, he should put out the back there, but he just kind of stays there. Okay, now we got double inside position. Chapa's got double inside. Body lock. He opts to go to the seatbelt. Okay, well, Marcus grabbed the leg there. I wouldn't have grabbed the leg there, but okay, so that's what he's doing here. Now he switched his grip, so this is better. He's starting to look like he has a half guard. This isn't a lockdown. But he could turn into like a John Wayne sweep or something if he switched a little bit there. Get his knees down. Yeah. Okay, so Chapa's he's trying to dig this foot here, trying to open the legs by digging his foot inside here and undoing the legs. And Marcus up top, what Marcus is doing, so there's some foot battle going on here, but up top here, Marcus is really trying to dig that left arm on the inside. a good job on the inside. Okay, now he's on the outside now. Yep, digging it back to the inside. Chopping that pressure on that one leg, pinning it down. He's going to try to step over it as he pushes it. Okay, so now he's got, so this is good. This is actually a really good passing position. Okay, so Chapa's set up really nice here. He has two knees. This knee is touching the hip. He's turned the corner, basically. He's got a pinch on the knees. He's got a body lock here. Got his head down in a good position. His left hand is fighting the hand position over here and pushing, maybe even pushing on the knee down here. And he could start to turk the leg here, or maybe using this foot to kind of peel this leg out so he can slide through back to a knee slice. But let's see what he does. He's using that good job with the body lock. Okay, so he opts to just pop out, switch to the other side. It's good. Very good. Okay, now right knee's starting to slide in. Now he's getting to the back. Okay, the top hook is in. He needs that bottom hook in, but top hook will do for now. He's got a seat belt. It's all good. He's going to try to pull Marcus back to he's going to pull Marcus back to the other direction. Marcus is doing a good job of trying to block this leg because he's trying to avoid that hook from coming in. He doesn't want that second hook to come in. But Chapa's doing a good job switching to the other side, because he's switching to the other side because it's a stronger side. He has this hook right here, right? And now Marcus has to contend with the choking arm. So he pulled him back. Marcus went back, but it was just for him to get that right, to get this hook in right here. Now that he got the hook in, he's good. He can start to attack. Seat belt. He just keeps, so he's using his choking arm. He's switching his choking arms. He's pulling it back on the face. So he has two. This is a good strategy when you have good lower body control and you have a good back connection. You can start to turn both arms into choking arms, and one of those arms can be a pulling arm, just like he's right now. He's kind of meat hooking his head right here and pulling him over in this direction. This resets the back over and over and over and over. And then you can also switch your choking arm from this arm to this arm. When they land to the left over here, this arm now is going to be the choking arm. Okay, before this right arm was the choking arm. So this is the game you can play over and over and over. Got him now to the other side. Marcus doing a really good job of defending here. He's putting hands, making sure his hands don't go below the knee line. What Chapa's trying to do is trap one of those arms of the legs. Once one of the arms is gone, then he can really start to put on the strangulation. Okay, so now Chapa has a cross grip with his right hand. Starting to get into like a bit of a straight jacket control. If Chapa pulls him back to this side, Chapa can have a really good chance of trapping Marcus's left arm with Chapa's left leg. Okay, so look, Chapa's doing it again. This is like the fourth time he's done this. He's grabbing across with the underhook. He's grabbing across Marcus's neck, and he's going to drag him back over to this direction, right? But Marcus has doing a really good job here with the 2-on-1. The 2-on-1 is very good for dealing with the choking arm. The issue is that if the guy on your back is really savvy, he can actually just keep resetting the position. Once you address the choking arm with two arms and trying to get your head on the other side, because what Marcus is trying to do is get his head over here. He's going to try to drag Chapa's arm right here over here. And so once he can do that, he can start to get his back flat to the mat. The issue is Chapa's arm right here. Once he starts to reap over to pull Marcus back this direction, now this is going to start to become the choking arm. So let's see what happens. Okay, so Marcus isn't out yet. Right, he's starting to get out, but Chapa has that grip on his neck. And he got out. Good. Well, and now that he's out, he has to be very careful now of the arm bar. There's an arm bar right here coming up. And again, it's pretty wild. Like Marcus is like, it's crazy because Chapa's really, really good. So this looks like it's just kind of, he's just kind of getting out of stuff, pretty easily. But Chapa's really good. Like this is kind of what Marcus does. He's extremely good at escapes. And staying relaxed, understanding timing. Okay, so see that Chapa keeps that frame. He's get that frame up, and he's actually going inverted again. Again, this is the game that Chapa likes to play. See the frame there. This keeps the distance away. So does that leg right there. They're both kicking Marcus away so that Chapa can go into an inversion. This is good stuff. And see how Chapa has this leg now under Marcus's armpit? As soon as Chapa decides to go full 360, this leg over here is going to come swinging up against his neck. And because this is under his arm, he's going to be in a triangle. So Marcus he's very aware of this. Obviously, he's dodged it several times, and it's probably because he knows what's going on. It's just that this arm is going to save him. It's going to block that leg. But we'll see. So Chapa opted not to go to the inversion, which is good. Just go right back, because he can always go back to the inversion if he needs to. Look, he's got that frame again. It's a good frame. Pressing him away. We're starting to see a pattern here with Chapa's guard. This is good. It's a difficult guard to deal with. Keeping that connection. These guys are still going. Trying to do a little look at my hand technique. Little traction. Chapa's got the 2-on-1. He's starting to connect the foot here. He's starting to put him pushing. He's maybe going to make a possible sweep, maybe. Marcus steps that leg back and gets out. Chapa still has a 2-on-1. Look at that. He went to inversion with the grip. Looking for much to drive in. You see, Marcus is doing a good job here of not just diving into Chapa's guard. Guys that are really good at inverting like this, and they keep doing it over and over, well, they're doing it because they know of all the attacks that are available if you start to drive your head in. If Marcus was more of, say, like a wrestler type, where he's just driving his head into Chapa's chest when he starts to go inverted, they could end up definitely in some compromised positions, even into some submissions. So, but Marcus is he doesn't dive into the guard. He kind of manages his distance far away, and this may seem like he's like kind of trying to dodge the guard, but really what he doesn't want to do is he definitely doesn't want to go forward and drive in. There are some circumstances where you would, but if this is a brown belt and this is like his game, I would not recommend. This is a big part of his guard. I would not recommend just driving in to the person's guard. There's other ways to deal with people inverting like that. But Marcus is playing it safe, right? There's no reason to use all this extra energy just trying to drive through that guard when he goes upside down. See, and he'll sit right back to his butt. Okay, so Chapa trying to go into a De La Hiva, maybe reverse De La Hiva, and it's a really good pass there. So he jumped, slid past with a knee ride. Chapa got the underhook. Chapa's going to wrestle up to turtle. This is what everybody should be doing. Once somebody knee slides like that and you have this underhook, there is no reason why you should be flat, either flat on your side or flat on your back. Right now, Chapa's flat on the side because I paused the video, obviously, but he's in the transition of getting up to turtle to his knees. And when he gets back to his knees, he could slide back through and do that sweep again that he did. But this underhook is very strong, right? And this could, Marcus could easily come back here and do a whizzer. You see, as soon as Chapa gets to his knees, then that's it. The pass doesn't mean anything, right? I mean, because now Chapa's on top. Chapa's head's above his. Chapa's hips are above his. I really would have liked to have seen Marcus do a whizzer here. There, but the whizzer's too late. Whizzer's too late, but that's okay. Marcus still has a good position. He's got an overhook on Chapa's right arm over here. He's got a wrist control over here. He's got a nice hook in this position. So for, at their level, for purple and brown, this is not a bad position. This is something that you can work with. I like how Marcus is trying to block the head to keep him from driving his head into his face and get higher. I would like to see a little more, Marcus got long legs. I'd like to see a little more if Marcus is going to play this type of game, like kind of a relaxed, to establish maybe, lockdowns or Z guards or reverse lockdowns or, more active half guard. Yeah, Chapa get a good slice. I went to a pass. That was really nice. Chapa staying low, keeping his pressure in. Drop his right hip to his hip, getting higher. Putting that chest on to chest connection, which is good. Marcus this is wild. I mean, most people like Marcus, he kind of looks like he's just kind of like leaving his arms kind of out, flopping around everywhere. This is not something that you usually see. Most people are really trying to fight to get those arms back in, and there's a lot of fighting going on. Marcus kind of rubbery. He's kind of just like, all right, and his arms kind of flopping everywhere. And this is good because it definitely conserves some energy. But he's extremely comfortable here. And this is kind of a testament to his game. He's kind of developed. Because again, Chapa's very good. So like this is I wouldn't be playing this game. So the fact that he's playing this is really, really interesting. Nice. Went to his back. Chapa got back again. And a lot of hand fighting here. Chapa going to that meat hook again, trying to pull him over this direction. Marcus doing good. Okay, so we might switch to a Kimura. Okay, yeah. So can't tell if Chapa has that bottom hook, but now he has Kimura position. He can either sit up and reset, start to go into Kimura curl. Let's see what happens here. Oh, here we go. Well, Marcus actually was getting his back flat, and this kills the Kimura. Typically, if you can get your back flat to the mat when somebody has a Kimura in that direction, then you can completely mitigate the Kimura position, the Kimura control. There's a bit of a scramble here to see who gets on top. Marcus should win this scramble just because his hips are turning. Boom. So he has to watch out for the triangle here. This is what Chapa's trying to set up as Marcus is coming up. He did. He dodged it. Back to the floor guard position. Hands in the armpit, trying to get some distance. Knee in the butt. Chapa falls with his hips. Boom. Go into a high guard, trying to triangle. Posture, man. Like I always tell guys, I'm like, if your timing with your posture is good, it's hard to get submissions for the guy on bottom, for the guy playing guard. For like arm bars, triangles, these type of submissions require the head to be low, right? It's gonna be very difficult. It doesn't mean you can't get with the person posturing. You certainly can, bringing your hips to the person's head. But it is with good posture and good frames, it's very difficult to actually get submissions, right, in somebody's guard, like full guard position. And always remember, just when somebody postures, I just want to throw this out there. When somebody postures up and pulls back really far, that means that the lower body is available. That means you can start scooping the legs and attacking the legs. Okay, so when they're down, that means their legs are typically not available, but their upper body is available. You can control their posture, you control their head, you can start to create angles, you can control their hands, 2-on-1s, and all this stuff starts to happen. But as soon as they pull back, then you can start to go to legs and steal the hips for sweeps and things like that. So just keep that in mind if you do come across somebody that has really good posture and they keep posturing on everything, well, their legs are fully available to scoop up and hook. Okay. Notice Marcus seems totally chill here. He hasn't even been doing anything. A little scoop on the leg could be a luck. Okay, pressure. Chop's going to try to wrestle up, and then right here. I already knew Chop was going to go inverted. As soon as he stirs his back a little bit, Marcus is going to go for it. He's going to go inverted. Boom, pop out the side. Could have went for a leg there, but that's okay. Marcus did a good job just sitting back. He's fighting the hands. Good. Chapa inverts again. Marcus doesn't fall for it, going forward. They reset. He's doing the old hand trick, little magic trick, trying to distract him. Yeah, okay, so good frames on the biceps. Yes, good scoop with the leg. Good point here. When somebody is just not engaging, Marcus for that moment wasn't quite going forward. As soon as somebody's not going forward in this modern jiu-jitsu, where there's a lot of heavy wrestling right now, I would always recommend you just scoop the leg and go forward. I mean, if the other person's not going forward, you should be going forward. Okay, so in that particular case, at that moment, he was not going forward. So we got a leg. Now Chapa, there's a wrestle on top. Okay, Marcus came back forward. Now he's on good arm drag. So that was an arm drag. Now he's got angle. He's on top. Marcus seems to be okay here, be comfortable. I mean, any normal situation is a terrible position for most people, but I have confidence Marcus will be okay here. I'd like to see a gift wrap. If Chapa decides to start doing a gift wrap here and take this hand and grab this wrist, you might be able to produce something. I like what Marcus is doing here. He's grabbing his own wrist and making his wrist unavailable to Chapa here, and also creating a good wedge right here, a good frame. He has to watch out for the arm triangle, but because he has his two hands right here wedged in his arm, I don't, it's going to be this because his hand right here is wedged right here. The arm triangle is going to be difficult. Might go for the back here, maybe. Go for a knee slice. Okay, a little bit of pressure. Marcus went to his knees. Good. Just went slide back to his back. Get to his guard. Good. He's got a guard. Looks like maybe going to his shin, possibly trying to set up some rubber guard. There we go. So now, this is always a great passing position. Got your opponent flat on the ground, chest to chest. You got the upper body connection. Now all we got to do is peel that leg away. It's always good to step that back foot, wedge it in there, and then peel it away. You should tripod up here. Put that right there. We go. So now we go to mount. So this is interesting. Excuse me. Marcus is here is trying to do like a reverse Ezekiel from the bottom. This is actually a pretty strong move, a submission. You see this done in MMA recently, in UFC. You've seen it done a few times. I got a couple students, Ivan, all these guys that another black belts that will do this from the bottom. So it's a very strong position. So especially if you have long arms like Marcus. Marcus has some nice arms there. So Chapa's head too big. So we go back to the arm bar. Yep. Crossface. Mount. So this is bad for Marcus. This is a high mount. And we may be transitioning to a triangle. But good. Just a basic, bump sweep. Kind of bumped him over. And it was because, Chapa's arms caught behind Marcus's head. And Marcus kind of felt the timing there and just popped over. Very basic mount sweep. But if you time these basic movements, if you just time them right, they work. Some hand fighting. Open the guard. Now there's a hand fighting again. Get a little De La Riva maybe. Got a De La Riva hook. Going for a roll to the leg. Chapa rolls with him. Good. Passed. Sitting back to the leg. No good. He already knew what was going to happen. Okay, so he's going back now. Marcus is getting a little active here, attacking the back. Chapa's fine with this. He's going to kind of roll over. Now he's going to try to maybe possibly attack the leg. Marcus did a really good job of underhooking the arm so he couldn't get to the leg. Okay, scooping. Chapa's trying to hold that leg, but Marcus just spit out. Marcus tried to grab the head to get connection with the upper body to start to pass. Chapa used that frame again that he always uses with that left arm, always framing on Marcus's left shoulder. He's been using that a lot. This waving thing Marcus is doing, he's kind of like waving, trying to just do a little distraction there. Reminds me of like boxing or something. Okay, here we go. Boom. So Marcus goes for the knee ride. Chapa got to get to hold both his legs. This is good. This is a good counter. So when somebody comes into a knee ride, you could just hug both legs and just roll them over, right? I mean, for the person to pass with a good knee ride, their knees have to be separated to a certain degree. They can't be, both knees together. You just fall right over. So this was a good move on Chapa's part. Marcus has an underhook. I'm sorry, he has an overhook here, but he has a hook on the inside position here. Just pull that out, limp arm out of that. Had to fix the wardrobe there, and then pass. All right, so then just a kind of a pass over the legs. Marcus wasn't playing sticky hooks, so he just kind of just popped over. Again, Marcus he seems to be super comfortable here on the bottom. He's kind of dealt with everything. Back attacks, leg attacks, mount. Staying calm. Looks like he's falling asleep. Okay, you got this kind of start legs over top. Well, I'd like the lockdown right here. Like if you could throw in a lockdown here just to see what happens. I mean, just to get some extension away. And then maybe to elevate and overcommit Chapa over your head. He's got the legs to do it here. It would be interesting to see. Again, this is, Chapa's got him really stretched out. Normally, I would say this is a terrible position. You don't want your arms above your head, your elbows above your head like that. This is no good. Go to mount. So this is a really good mount position now. We'll see how Marcus deals with this. Okay, so Chapa just trying to get a connection with Americana. These Americanas like this, I think they're more of a setup and more of a threat than anything, just to get the person to move. They're not super high percentage, but when you have the lock with the Americana here, it's worth holding on to it. But now just a good shrimp. Marcus got his legs back involved. Now this is no good anymore. Once the legs get involved, it's a little estima lock there. So it looks like Chapa trying to play some estima. It's pretty easy to stop because Marcus can just turn or invert from there. Not that the estima lock doesn't work; it does work, but in this particular case, he's able to get out of that pretty easily. Framing, a lot of movement. Yeah, he's just been around. I mean, he's gave him his back. All right, boom. Chapa trying to flip over to a truck position. Switch to the leg. Marcus stuffed it. He's switching to the other leg. Go to toe hold. Oh, I got a toe hold. Nice. So after all that, I get a toe hold. Man, that's funny. Didn't expect the toe hold to finish it off there, but nonetheless, I got a toe hold just so we can see it again. Oops. See it one more time. I mean, we're rolling for 10 minutes, so maybe Marcus is just like, all right, whatever. But he probably could have got out of that. But let's check the position again. So Chapa rolls here to get something. Marcus counters it. Chapa goes for the leg here, trying to get to a double outside ashi. Switches toe hold here. Yeah, Marcus could have kept maybe doing a belly roll here to get out of that. But Chapa is laying on his leg over here, on his outside leg over here. So the issue with a toe hold, it's a rotational submission. So as long as your body can rotate and move, you can potentially get out of it. I don't encourage beginners to do that. I don't ever encourage beginners to roll or to spin out of anything. Spinning out of stuff and you don't know leg locks is a terrible idea. Once you know leg locks and know when to spin and how to spin, this is obviously very different. But in this particular case, they both know what's going on here. I think his leg is so he didn't have the momentum to turn and go. And Chapa has a strong grip on the foot there, and just no big deal, just tap, start over. But that was a long roll for them to keep going like that, and then finally got a toe hold. So very good roll. That was really fun. And I told myself I wouldn't go to 30, 40 minutes, and I did. So if you made it this far, I don't know what you're doing, but you must be must have nothing else to do. But it's a long time, 40 minutes to watch this. But there's a lot of good stuff in this roll. There's a lot of good transitions. You can kind of see the game itself, the individual's game you start to see positions repeating over and over and over. This is really interesting to watch when you study people's games, is to actually start seeing patterns. Everybody has them. Everybody has patterns. And if you study those patterns, especially with good guys, you can start to add them to your game and really start to, especially during an active roll. These aren't just, techniques that I'm just, somebody showing you a technique and you drill it. This is like live rolls and seeing what's actually working. So I think there was a lot to learn from both these guys. Both these guys did really good. It was a very good roll. And yeah, so I'll have some more videos coming out. Another one in a couple days. So that'll be it for this one. All right, thanks.